To start off, I will present an overview of the importance of literacy and numeracy in children's development. According to Australian curriculum, since children widen their knowledge and grow their skills to use language with confidence, with the purpose of learning and communicating in different settings rather than school, they become literate. Literacy requires children to listen, read, view, speak, write, and make oral, print, or visual text and use and change language for multiple uses in different contexts. Whether children succeed in the learning areas is dependent on their ability to use literacy, which is crucial for learning the information being delivered in that area. The importance of literacy is illustrated when, during story time, children heard words which are unknown to them in daily life, which develop their lexical resources, boost their thinking as well as problem solving skills. In the case of infants, through being read to, their senses are stimulated, which enhance their learning and memory skills and all the vital words which facilitate them to recognize an orange as an orange, for instance. Since children broaden their knowledge and skills to use mathematics with confidence in other learning areas, both at school and in daily life more wisely, they become numerate. Numeracy covers the knowledge, skills, and dispositions needed for them to use mathematics in numerous situations. It requires children to recognize and understand the part of mathematics around the world and have the competence to use arithmetic, knowledge, and skills with a useful purpose. For example, children's counting skills are quickly developed within preschool years. At first, counting was seen as a monotonous task, which is insignificant for preschool-aged children. However, its emerge has now been proved by research as an essential conceptual elaboration, which lays a firm foundation for enhancing more complicated arithmetic skills. Next, I will be presenting the analysis of how literacy and numeracy contribute to develop children's dispositions and attitudes towards learning. According to Australian Government Department of Education, being literate is having the dispositions, being confident, and capable of using language in every form by writing, speaking, hearing, and viewing. Having the ability to read, write, talk, and listen grants children vitally important social skills and confidence to become happy and healthy grown-ups. Besides, engagement in regular talk and interactions also help children enhance their language and listening skills and boost their confidence with language. Gurdon stated that shared reading develops children's empathy and curiosity. Children who are regularly read to have the tendency to become grown-ups who enjoy enduring relationships, have a high concentration, stronger emotional resilience, and ability to control themselves. Those who are frequently read aloud to and be able to access to a variety of books appear to be highly creative thanks to their ability to visualize mental pictures. Moreover, intriguing books that allow children to pinpoint characters in them contribute crucially to build their positive reading identities. In terms of numeracies, since children become more numerate, achieve success and happiness in their early childhood mathematical activities, they develop confidence as learners, which motivate them to accept more challenges. For example, jigsaw puzzle promote children's perseverance and problem-solving skills as the feeling of finishing solving a puzzle will lead to children challenging themselves further, handling problems and coping with frustration. A study conducted by Clerken and Gillian revealed that children's engagement in numeracy play within early years was positively connected to their confidence with mathematics, cognitive attitudes, as well as liking it, affective attitudes in year 4 at school. It was suggested that the promotion of numeracy activities for children in the early years could be effective when it came to developing children's positive attitude towards the subjects later in childhood or possibly when they turn into adults. Now I will be presenting about the roles of literacy and numeracy in play and inquiries-based learning in early childhood education. I will first give you an overview of inquiry-based learning. Inquiry-based learning promotes the development of the skills which empower children to ask questions, conduct investigations, and share what they find to their friends. Instead of scripting quizzes to test how much children remember, educators are required to interact with children, ask them questions, and converse with them naturally. It is necessary for educators to maximize spontaneous opportunities which happen per day. Pay attention to anything that links to children's inquiries and interests. Inquiries-based learning involves parents in regularly communicating with children, which provides a springboard for them to open up room for inquiries or give children chances to engage in conversation and improve their range of vocabulary. Learning that motivate preschool-aged children to make inquiries about and participate in the process will allow them to understand and ingrain mathematics more than regular approaches, where educators act more than children, because children can pose questions to build their knowledge, cooperate to look for answers, and experiment. Language and mathematics are considered tools for inquiries. Both of them are naturally used by children when trying to gain a clear meaning of their experience with their educators and friends. In fact, since children are learning to read a measuring tape, they're trying to convert the size contained on the tape into intelligible language, which is the act of building literacy to gain a clear meaning. To illustrate, a child shows how to read and use a meter stick for measurements purpose by pointing his finger to a spot on the stick and then points at a specific number when telling his friend about his length. Moreover, the improvement of numeracy skills is increased since children start to show their knowledge of mathematics through written languages and spoken communications. Simultaneously, visible productions of mathematics become wise contexts for the building of literacy skills through converting, using expressive language, understanding size meanings, and the improvement of writing. Written expressions, in turn, is also used by children to show their understanding of mathematics, which results from inquiry. Next, I'll be presenting about the connection between multiliteracies, socioculturals, and place-based perspectives to the importance of literacy and numeracy in children's development. First, it is suggested by multiliteracy's perspective that when it comes to defining literacies, multilingualisms, multiculturalisms, or any types of form of communications used to make meaning should be taken into account. Multiliteracy's perspectives is in alignment with the latest early learning curriculums because it values children's identity and voices. It helps children enhance their sense of identities and health, build connection to their community, gain confidence, and become involved learners who use effective communication by communicating with the language that they prefer. Multiliteracies play an important part in developing the foundation skills needed for acquiring later literacies. For instance, the integration of visual literacy can help children interpret and make meaning from pictures or charts, which aids their comprehension and communication skills. Also, imaginative place area can be set up with props and outfits that represent different careers, namely nurses, tradesmen, or police officers. Then teachers can encourage children act out different storylines in order for them to apply proper knowledge based on these situations. Furthermore, financial literacy activities like setting up classroom stores are practical since children are able to use pretend money to purchase and sell things and apply the knowledge of managing money and fundamental mathematical skills. Second, regarding sociocultural perspective, which Vygotsky's 1978 developmental theory is based on, It is said that children's cognitive skills were latent, yet the only way for them to develop is for children to interact meaningfully with their culture and society. The zone of proximal development theory gives an explanation for why parents play a vital role in developing children's literacies. Children whose development of literacy skills are in progress will need support from strong assistance close by. As parts of the nearest educational space, parents can promote the children's interest in reading. The essence of positive parents' roles belief was also emphasized by Hoover Dempsey as they stated that the gap between children's academic performances from impoverished families and those from better off families could be explained by how much involved the parents was. For instance, Weiji, Martin, and Bennett stated that children whose parents involved eagerly in the home literacy space perform better at readings and print knowledge in comparison with those whose parents was less eager. The position paper on early childhood mathematics 2023 also stated that children's home and families are the first setting where they learn mathematics. This home learning space will continuously play a pivotal role in their mathematical development even after they have attended early learning services and later gain access to school. Thus, it acknowledges the essence of home learning space in children's arithmetic skills and encourages families and educators to facilitate the development of such space. Third, place-based perspective indicates an understanding that teachers' knowledge of the context will impact their practices and planning. Regarding literacy, meaning making happens in a certain extent that incorporates the places of the play areas and the bush. To demonstrate when children talk about their daily routines and through all the details that they describe, such as numerous play areas where they live, or when they understand life cycle of a plant and train their opinions of plants as life forms and want to talk about the state of the bush. The authenticity of the place created novel ideas, and while talking about their actions, children are able to broaden their views, which is evident when they talk about other places such as the restaurant, the bookstores, or the soccer fields. As for numeracies, the importance of play-based perspectives is evident in all the benefits of outdoor plays in natural space. Basil explained that there was no end of mathematical in nature and plenty of things can be useful when teaching mathematics. For example, flower petals can be used for counting and comparing with other flowers or trees can be used for measurement. Finally, I will present some contemporary research findings that relate to literacy and numeracy in early childhood education. Regarding literacy, Vygotsky claimed that how children develop their language is linked to how they interact with their groups within the societies and cultures. As the more they notice, practice, and pick things up, the more their language is acquired. It is also suggested by Vygotsky's zones of proximal development theories that in order for children to expand their learning, additional challenges are needed to illustrate from the formation of letters to the construction of words, sentences, and speech. Non-working mobile phones and imaginative phone calls boost children's imagination and create an addition rooms in which children are given the ability to come up with new characters and construct storylines with problems, so language is used by them to problem solve. Besides, reading literature together with children results in remarkable outcomes such as igniting children's imaginations and enriching their language. Books aim at children's available resources for their literacy educations because as they read or listen to the text, children obtain necessary literacy concepts and skills as well as acknowledging literature's values. As for numeracy since very early age, the development of mathematical skills have begun for children. The understanding of numerical ideas, namely pattern or problem solvings, is demonstrated by infants and toddlers according to international research. A study conducted by McDonald and Carmichael stated that amongst 6,500 children who participated, a large percentage, around 98%, displays interest in numbers between the age of 4 and 5. Children's appreciation in later arithmetic educations are likely the result of their delightful engagement in meaningful mathematics activities within the early years. Activities including puzzles and blocks, which promote children's spatial awareness, will expose them to spatial concepts, which will be effective once mathematics is introduced. However, most early childhood teachers values and prioritize language and literacy over other school readiness skills. Learning experience, namely story reading or tracing letters, take up a massive portion of the program daily. Meanwhile, more than 10 years ago, it was observed that mathematics activities only made up 6% of the days in the preschool service, which was roughly 18 minutes. Besides, children are learning core numeracy skills such as counting in kindergarten rather than in preschool, although it was researched that it is natural for them to develop more core and more complicated numeracy skills within the early years. That is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.